How do you actually stay raw vegan when your life gets busy? After being a raw vegan since 2021, I noticed that the biggest challenge isn't learning what to eat. It's what happens when your normal routine suddenly disappears. Your work gets busy, you travel more, you change priorities. That's usually the moment when your consistency starts slipping away. After many years, I realized that there is one question that matters much more than any recipe or meal plan. Can your raw vegan lifestyle still work there? If you've ever felt that raw vegan works until real life gets involved, this video is for you. If you'd like me to help you adapt raw vegan to your lifestyle personally, there is a link below where you can book a free call this week by leaving your email. Imagine you wake up tomorrow on, let's say, a tropical island. Fruits grow everywhere. You don't have to work. Every raw vegan meal is prepared for you in advance. You're not on a trip. You don't even have to think about your menu. Staying raw vegan would probably feel effortless. Now, start taking those things away. You'll go back to work. It's getting colder outside. Your schedule fills up. Plus, you start training more seriously. Suddenly, the same lifestyle begins much harder to maintain. Here is the question: did raw vegan become more difficult? Or did your environment change? I remember one work trip when I was working as an architect. I woke up in the hotel. Breakfast wasn't really an option for me. I walked to the grocery store, bought a few oranges, went back to the hotel, cut them up myself. Later the day, bananas and oranges carried me through until dinner. In the evening, my colleagues wanted to eat something in a restaurant, so I had no choice but to order something that was the closest to my preferences, which was a veggie salad. Was it perfect? Uh, Not completely. Did I stay raw? Yes. That day taught me something essential. Sometimes consistency isn't about having a perfect plan. Sometimes it's making the right moves with what's available. A similar thing happened to me when I started lifting weights. That routine that worked for me when I was mostly walking around the city suddenly wasn't enough. I needed more calories. I had to consider meal timing, and I needed more food that could be easily taken outside. I'm not saying there is something wrong with my old routine. It simply means it was built primarily for another version of my life. The seasons taught me the exact same lesson. During summer, I eat more watermelons and melons. On the other side, winter flips the rules of the game in the country I live in, i.e., Poland. I buy grapes and oranges more frequently. The amount of healthy fat slightly goes up, and amount of water I drink slightly decreases. By the way, this lifestyle is still the same. After facing situations like this over and over again, something became clear. I stopped trying to protect one specific routine. I was learning how to adapt. So, think about your situation for a second. When your life gets more demanding, what's usually the first thing that falls apart immediately in terms of your raw vegan routine? After enough experiences like this, one pattern became impossible to ignore. I kept expecting the same routine to work in completely different circumstances, different goals, different schedules, different responsibilities. One day I stopped asking, how do I get back to my old routine? Instead, I started asking, how would raw vegan look like in the situation I'm in today? That small reframing of thinking completely changed the way I approach this lifestyle. Because I stopped chasing one perfect routine. Instead, I started building different patterns for each situation. Today, my focus isn't on making every day look the same. It's on making sure raw vegan still fits into wherever my life looks like in this specific time frame. Sometimes I have enthusiasm to play with recipes. Sometimes I keep things extremely simple. Sometimes I have to compromise in the moment, like that story in the restaurant. As for me, this is what consistency really means. Taking this lifestyle that works in perfect conditions and make it work when life doesn't. This is why I'd like to leave you with one final question. If your life looked completely different 6 months from now, would raw vegan still fit into it? If the answer is no, no worries. I suggest you approach that as a potential opportunity worth improving, because once you learn how to create different patterns for each situation, consistency becomes a piece of cake. If you need professional help from my side to make raw vegan finally a sustainable lifestyle that fits your circumstances, I'm glad to acknowledge that this opportunity awaits you right now. Open the link below, leave your email, mark that you need a free call this week, and I'll personally reach out to you.